Hello guys, so Jerry speaking. Welcome to React 1877B. The original file was supposed to be reacting to this for the first 4 minutes, and apparently actually the first 4 minutes, let's say first 7 minutes recording time frame, and apparently I lost the file. Thanks to the ScreenFlow does it all. It just crapped out on me for no reason. We had to fix this, so let's react to the entire thing for real this time. Beginning in 5, 4, concluding in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's influence, right? And that's cool too, with the stuff I've done, like Fairly Odd Parents, every year I get, fans that send me, AJ, costumes or stuff like that, Sam cosplays. Awesome. So it's really cool to have characters that I can have that with.
Yeah, talking about the first one was almost like R-rated Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty spooky and just creepy, for an animation. It's like actually genuinely creepy. So I think that, like I said, the influence there was, animation doesn't have to be one thing. I mean, you look at when Scooby-Doo premiered and what it did, it's like people thought that animation just simply meant some wild and crazy stuff happening with, some, animation, and that's it. It's got to be a kooky character. It's got to be, and don't get me wrong, Scooby-Doo had no shortage of that.
Exactly.
You're like, no, we can blend these genres. It doesn't have to be something that gives you one emotion all the time. We can scare you in this medium. We can make you laugh. We can inspire you. We can have you try to figure clues out, all of those kinds of things like are very subtle nuances in writing and producing that they had to take chances on, because I mean, you look at what was out at the time,
And before you continue on, Gary, I want to say something too, that in Bob's review, I was going to say that too in my original file, that but when Bob showed the review about the Scooby-Doo Meets Batman review, during his review of the Adam West versus in the Adam West, and was too busy doing this whole Scooby-Doo adaptation of Batman because he's doing a stage play, and the Ward doing it. Burt Ward's not doing Rob because what Rob said, out of this West, there's no war. Because of that, I just don't know what to do next. So I saw it very funny, and I thought it was hilarious. It just happens. Let's see what happens. Continue on.
And it really didn't compare. There was really things that were just like I said, Hanna-Barbera just really had that sort of lock, and so you look at something like Scooby-Doo and it's like, man, that was really unique, Yeah.
And they still do great a lot of now voicing Daphne on.
There's nothing really you can say about Gray. It's just we're really one of those, people that voiceover is indebted to her, and it's just. Where would we be, to be honest?
If they asked you to guest star on it, I don't know if it's come back with you too, but they gave the new Scooby-Doo series, if they asked you to guest star on it.
Oh, of course. I mean, a heartbeat.
Scooby turned 50 last year, which is crazy.
Yeah. Currently, as I'm telling this right now, Scooby-Doo will be celebrating its 50 years sometime in 2029. And it's been on since 1969. So there you go. Let's continue on.
Wow. I mean, I've been a part of some really cool, iconic shows, but I mean, there's nothing that even touches Scooby-Doo, and that's crazy to say that nothing that even I've done can touch Scooby-Doo. And I think that when you look at shows like that, and over the years, the guest stars that they've had, I wouldn't find any one of them that probably would say they didn't feel privileged to be there. I mean, even Fairly Odd Parents, we've had
I'll be right back. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to resume this for a moment because I was looking at the likes from people who enjoyed my two photos I took from my brother and I took from the AC/DC concert from yesterday. I'd like to thank everyone who enjoyed it. So there are going to be some stuff from you guys during the film I made. So along with the entire special presentation thing for an upcoming follow-up episode of Racist Jokes. So be look out for it, and it's been a blast. Continue on.
Stars, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. We're like, what do you mean? We love you. You know, it's like, you know, having Adam West on the show, you know, it's like, what? You're Batman. Like, what are you talking about? This is cool. Like,
wow.
Like, you know, so you look at that, but, you know, people are fans of everything, and you look at shows and just, and that's what I mean about these kinds of shows. You know, you really can't, there's nothing that can be said about their influence, and young, old, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. You can be a fan of it, and that's the cool part about them. So of course I do Scooby-Doo in a heartbeat. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm talking about the second one, which is Nurse Clyde, but I told these guys, I remember going to movie hours, just going over business, and renting the second one over and over again on DVD, aka Jimmy Two Power Hour 2.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have to get on my, like, congruent Scooby-Doo like movie thing. Like, I want to watch them.
Oh, trust me, I have a lot of new scenes.
I want to go back and like actually go through, you know, and like see how it changed, you know, over the years, you know.
A lot of them are on HBO Max now, and they had a public one, which is awesome.
Love HBO Max and what they're doing with animation.
Well, back then it's known as Max in 2023 until they have to continue it back as HBO Max. So there you go. Let's continue on.
Right now, I mean, I don't see anyone really touching that. You know, it's talked about that Netflix is going to sort of reshape their animation studios, but I just find it hard to believe that, you know, with HBO and what they're doing with the sort of the sectioning off, you know, and it's like almost like we have every flavor for everyone, you know, and it's very inviting, you know, and I think Netflix has the content, and they have obviously the resources, but it's going to be hard to top that sort of ease, you know, the ease of access that HBO Max has done. Because I think now, like, I want to watch some anime. Now, instead of looking at my apps or whatever, I go to HBO Max and I just see what's on the Crunchyroll. Like, even though they don't have a great selection right now, I go there first. Why? Because it's just ease of access. Because it's an app that I have just right there on my television. I can just check it, even if I feel like nothing's there. And I think that that's what Netflix is gonna have to do if they really want to, you know, make some waves. But shout out to HBO Max.
Yeah, they have like they have some Scooby shows and movies on there.
So after talking about like all this stuff you've done over the years, like what are you doing now?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of HBO Max, you know, I just did Batman Long Halloween. It's released a couple of months ago on Blu-ray and DVD, and it actually recently just dropped on HBO Max. So that is really cool to finally be, you know, I've done voiceover for now 25 plus years, and I'm getting into the DC universe. It's really cool, you know, and like I'm actually, you know, canon. This is something that actually is, you know, to be taken. It's not, you know, something that's sort of a one-off thing. This is something that's included in, you know, the Batman universe, and it's just really
correlate what he's doing. He never done anything since 2024. The Fairy Odd Parents' New Wish has been his last one as AJ, the voice, in one episode. And that's his last thing he was doing as a voice actor. I talked about everything except for Fillmore in the original file, so I'll say anyway. Fillmore is Nate Baker in one episode in 2004. He's also in What Happened to Robot Joes as Mitch from 2002 to 2003, you know. He's which I haven't talked about in the original file, but there you go. And then he's in you know, he said, and I do want to mention it too, but he said he said Batman Long Halloween as Pierce, you know, that just makes more sense anyway. But anyway, I mean, the last time he did voice AJ is 2024, so there you go. Let's continue on. I'm listening.
Cool to kind of like be included in that. It's just even in a small way. I play Lieutenant Pierce, who is a new character that fights alongside Gordon and Batman through the night, just helps them out. But it's really cool to just say I'm in a Batman movie. It's dope. So that's really what's there now. I also have a TV show miniseries named Trace, which is on Amazon. That you can download for purchase. Really cool. It's about a real series of murders in San Francisco with a serial killer named the Doodler. It's really cool just to play a role that's a lot more serious and a lot more just sort of out there in left field than I've ever done. I'm writing and producing and trying to do that, and make my space there as well. I have a couple of animated things that I'm trying to, I'm in the pre-production stages of right now. And it's really a journey that I've just been trying to sort of navigate and just see where it's taken me. And my art, I'm painting now, just sort of the pandemic, I picked up a new hobby. So I am, working on having a gallery and all those kinds of things for that. And that took off. I actually got a designer in London who caught wind of my art, and we ended up having a collaboration, and we did a limited clothing line that had jackets that featured my art. And that was really awesome to have that happen last year and release those. So again, just, one of those things that I have just been really afforded to have the ability to just have my passions just bleed out in all kind of possible ways. So that's what I'm doing right now, I guess.
That's awesome. So I'll just say this. So since we're talking about the Scooby-Doo that turned 50 years, it's very amazing. That's crazy that Scooby-Doo been for so many years. And same as for Sesame Street, because Sesame Street is over 50 years too.
Yes.
Yeah, same with Mr. Rogers. Don't forget about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Jake.
Way older. Sesame Street is crazy. I actually worked on Sesame Street when I was younger.
Oh my gosh!
And,
Wow. I gotta look it up. It was not in his filmography. And see. Oh, it's not there. He's in Crayola Kids Adventures, The Tales of Grover Travelers as Bob and Boggle. That's his film debut in 1997. But anyway, let's continue on listening.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, like you said, you look back and you're like, that's still one? You're like, wait, what? But again, when you look back at the actual, purpose of these shows, it's to teach and educate children.
To have fun.
And you look at the ones that did it best are the ones that are on the longest. And Sesame Street is the king of early development education for children. Yes.
Exactly, Gary. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's the granddaddy of them all. I think that the only ones that you have that might not be that sort of box with it are shows like that aren't on anymore, like Mr. Rogers or things like that have.
Yeah, that's what I just said, Gary. That's what I just said. Mm-hmm.
That same level of influence, but Sesame Street has withstood this the sands of time, really, and even through things like controversy and things like people saying that it's not good for children and it's not but you look at the core values and you look at people who take control of these shows over the years, and they really they have it. They really do have children's best interests at heart most of the time, and I think that's why that they've stayed on this long.
I see.
And also that I have to say this as well, that to be honest, Charlie, for me, Charlie is probably one of my favorite kids of the OG Quiver show, and awesome. He's cool. And I'm honestly, I think you did a great job as
he did do a good job.
Yes, he did.
Thank you so much. And it is weird too, because with Charlie, I really had to sort of represent a community that I really did not have any, sort of inclusion in, and to play Jamaican at the time. For me, I talked to TC a lot about it. I worked with TC Carson on that show. And so TC is very infused in Jamaican culture. And if I'm not mistaken, he actually, it is part of his lineage. So it's one of those things that it's really cool to look back and have people say, I felt represented, I looked at the show, and normally a show that really wouldn't have me in mind. I saw my family, to see Charlie and his dad so heavily in the show. You think about little boys and girls who are like, wow, that looks like my family, and that's so cool to have that, especially in a show like Clifford, where you have so many things that kids should be happy about. There's these group of dogs talking, like every kid should experience that. Every kid should experience Clifford. It's one of those things that, I want to, introduce to my children. At one point, you can tell me you don't like it, but I'm definitely going to introduce you to it so that I can find that out,
very special advice, ladies and gentlemen. Continue on. Anyway.
Because I think it's such a great children's property, whether it be in print or whether it be on screen, and so Scholastic, I think, is the owner for print, and they did a fantastic job at being, pushing it to children and making sure it was something that they could watch. So I definitely love that aspect for sure.
And I'm glad when they decided to reboot Clifford that it was on PBS Kids, because that was the home for Clifford back then, all those years ago.
Definitely. Exactly. And it's important that it keeps that sort of that sort of ability to stay the same, and have people go to the same network. And that's what I say about Sesame Street. It's like it has a home, and shows that Nickelodeon have. That's why these networks have created the
Nick Jr.
game.
Nick Jr. or whatever. Sprout.
Playhouse Disney. I grew up some Playhouse Disney, but Playhouse Disney from ooh and ah you, I'm out. Continue on.
Exactly. When you want to go and you can go to Nick Jr. and you can see shows all day that will educate and encourage your children to do what they do. And I think that's really cool to have. Yeah.
Right before the live action movie came out, right before it comes out, there was a live action Clifford and White, and it was Clifford Sing Along Adventure. It was somebody in Clifford suit, and it was pretty awesome. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw the live action Clifford bits of it, just a trailer, and that's it. And then it was 2021, and it's on Paramount, and it's a classic. And then all of a sudden, they had to ruin Clifford for some reason. People criticize it. I'm like, what is going on with people at Clifford? And I'm like, dude, stop criticizing Clifford. And I'll give it a chance to give it a watch, but it's not all that great. Especially Clifford's really big movie. That was a good movie in my opinion. But the live action Clifford movie, we'll see. I'll give that a shot. Continue on. Anyway.
I gotta watch it. Yeah. You definitely have all the haters.
I know. Do you ever go back and rewatch your old stuff? Like Fairly Odd Parents, Rocket Power,
or even Stevens.
I watched Fairly Odd Parents for sure. I think Fairly Odd Parents is one of those things you can't get away from just because it is so funny. And it's when you want to watch something and laugh and it's animated, it's hard to stay away from it. And so Jason, that's my guy, man.
Jason, who voices Max Goof, is amazing.
Yeah, I worked.
Jason Morrison, if you watch this, I met you in MobileCon 2022, and you were fantastic as Tino for the Weekenders, and of course, you were Max Goof and everything else. You're a great voice actor. Nothing said. Continue on, anyway.
Several times with Jason, and so for me and him to sort of meet, and we both replaced actors on that show.
Yeah.
So that is an insane chance to have someone that you've worked with, and to come in and both of you replace someone and get to work for years and years and years. And I mean, like I said, I've learned so much from him, and to be a part before I ever did voiceover. Goofy Movie was my favorite Disney film. My favorite.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Watched it as a kid. It was a great movie. Continue on.
Animated film. And I knew every single word, and to be Jason, and to now be.
Oh, and go check out my Boring Jokes episode on a Goofy Movie when you get a chance. Continue on.
Friends with him is just so awesome, and to learn from him. I worked with him for 16 years, and so
it feels surreal.
It feels awesome.
You can't get away from that.
Especially of how much you've been like for be part of TV shows, animation, movies, so much. They just don't even know what to say or what you're part of. They just like mind blown of how much you're part of what you're blessed to be as a person. So
man. I look at everything that I have been, included in. Even something like Fallout 4. Even though I
talk about this, I haven't spoke about it in the original file, and then that got lost for some reason. So, Fallout 4 and remix. Watch this body Fallout 4 for you. Continue on.
I was working on Fallout 4 until I got in the booth. I just knew that it was. They literally kept it top secret, and I'm just auditioning for characters, and so my agent called me, hey, you booked this project, still don't know what it is, but blah blah blah, this is the date, da da da. And so when I show up there, and we sit down and we talk before I go in the booth, and they told me, again, as a gamer, you're like, what, and to be a part of that, and then to have my peers, my people who acting is really cool, and it's a passion of mine, but at the end of the day, it's my job. So I do work, and after work, I have things that I do to not be working, and it's my hobby. Mm-hmm. Gaming is a hobby. Gaming is something I do as a release. I have friends that I've met online gaming, and that I work, I game with every day, that now I've met in person, that now is a part of my life, So with that, you look at Fallout 4, and you look at something that you've worked on, and you look at people that you've met along the way, and how they're like, my God, like my friend is in Fallout 4, and you're like, crap, it really does blow your mind. It makes you feel amazing, and to have something that the gaming community, I had people cosplay, as characters, it's just
cosplay is not my thing, but Lucas Bradley, if you watch this, it's for you, cosplaying for you, especially Rio, who's part of Springcast. Anyway, come right back. I'm gonna get some drink. Bad folks, I'm sorry for the huge delay. I just came back from talking to my mom, gotta get some balls, and personally do some personal things, and that was it. Anyway, let's get back to some the reactions, shall we? See what we got for us. Anyway, it's been like 29 minutes left of reaction. Anyway. Conclude in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You can't, you look at that, and you look at cons, and you look at stuff like that, and it's just really cool to look across the sea of people that you've somehow affected in some kind of way with those.
Yeah, exactly, because I met with some celebrities in person. Not all of them, but that's just me. Continue on.
It's really cool to look across the sea of people that you've somehow affected in some kind of way with those kind of properties. And it just doesn't get any better than that. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because in Fallout 76, it actually has my hometown in it, which is awesome.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, the Mothman.
That's awesome.
The Mothman thing is real. I don't blush. One of those urban legends.
Listen, I believe you. That definitely is really cool. I think that Fallout is they're gearing up for a new game. Are they not? Didn't they just announce something?
Yeah, they might have.
I think they might have. Yeah.
Cool. That'd be really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Is there anything around you, basically like Clipper or even Stevens or something? Is there anything you want to show that?
There is. You want to show us?
Basically, for example. Those two.
Yeah, Jake and Chris have their.
Man, most of my stuff is in storage, but I do have my cash jacket here in the closet. So
wow.
This is my Fairly Parents cash jacket.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's the Fairly Parents insignia, and it's got that on the back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, from the pilot show. Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
what
awesome.
that
Susan Blakely on the back.
Yeah, and that's
Awesome.
again, that's just one of those things. And man, let me see if I still have this bowling shirt. It's possible I do. Possible.
Possible. Yeah. You gotta find something somehow.
Sorry, guys.
You're fine,
Sorry,
Gray.
fine.
You find Gary
It's
somewhere.
fine.
This one the name's wrong. But anyway.
Yeah, I might have switched that one to storage, but
That's okay, but yeah, the Fairly Odd Parents jacket's cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
Jason
have that.
Marsden. You were talking about Jason Marsden. We might try to get one.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the moment you guys do, let me know, or if you guys can, because I'll definitely hit him up and tell him you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
yeah,
You're awesome.
I
Thank you so much.
I have like one of those. Man, oh, actually, this is from not a animated property, but this actually is a very cool bit.
Oh
It's on
wow.
my wall. It's a little disheveled because I don't like to restore things. I think that things
Oh yeah. I respect you, Gary. I respect you.
age.
Yeah.
I think that they should.
Yeah.
The age should show, and
I
you should
understand.
keep it as is. My first film was a kid's film by the name of Slappy and the Stinkers, and it's like a cult classic. It was made, and it is sort of a mesh between Little Rascals, and it has a sea lion in it. I don't know.
Oh, Little Rascals. Oh. You're talking about the Little Rascals in the 40s, the 50s? Oh, 30s and 40s. I messed with the years wrong, but it's God rest Hal Roach's soul. I mean, he still passed away at 100, but let me check here. Hal Roach. Let me see. Hang on. I saw his name wrong. That's him. Okay. That it was he is. He died just months away from being 101. Anyway, I'll come right back. Stand by. Wrong one. But folks, sorry about that. I had to so many texts from Remix about what's been going on from my point of view, see what's going on. And he just texted me, and he was about to tell me again. It just, wow. Crazy. Yeah. Sorry, keeping me off track. Let's get back to the episode.
I've ever heard of it, but again, so it's one of those cult classic films. B.D. Wong, Bronson Pinchot, if you remember, Perfect Strangers, the show that was on in the 80s.
Oh, I've seen bits of it. That was it.
The guy, he was in it. So this is a storyboard. This is a storyboard from before I even was attached to the project. This is a storyboard they have. Just, sort of detailing.
Wow. Wow. These drawings come out of the Wizard of Oz 1939. But this is a little different. Continue on anyway.
One of the frames of the kids dancing at a party. And so that's my character Domino, as you can see at the top. So it was just really cool. They gave me this after the film released, just as a commemorative thing, to say thank you and all that. And
yeah, hold on. Do I? Somebody pause right there. Oh, no, I did not. Okay, let's continue on listening.
It's just really cool to have that little bit, and seeing the creators and how they really thought of the scene, and seeing their writing and their notes and stuff. It's just really cool to have stuff like that.
Wow, okay.
Because it just is a part of the history of the things that I worked on, and just that little bit of the process. I think people always see the end result, right? And we're like, man, it must have been so cool. But a lot of the times, the things in the process are so awesome and so beautiful. And I mean, if you guys could see, Butch will literally be recording us and drawing, future episodes.
Wow.
He's like,
wow.
recording us and drawing future episode. He's like talking to us, and like you'll look at his script, and it's like it's got like the most amazing doodles on it. And I think this is gonna be the next
He shows
episode.
stuff on his YouTube. We need to get him on.
Yes.
That'd be the best episode.
An upcoming LG ads episode. Stay tuned. Continue on.
Because me and Chris are huge gaming fans.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to post something on the ACDC Planet Facebook group and just text the remix to see what's going on and things like that. And let's get back to the episode right now. So shall we? So we got for us.
And Fairly Odd Parents too, of course.
Yeah.
Both shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he also did Tough Puppy.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Tough Puppy.
Yes, I remember Tough
Puppy's
Puppy.
Me too, Chris. So, the last questions I want to point out is something like, since after you've been shows like an NBC, like Cosby Show, I think that's the first show you ever part of, right?
Yeah,
correct.
And Nickelodeon, PBS Kids show, and I think, what was your feeling about like where the first show you're part of was on NBC, and then more later to come you were on Nickelodeon, everything, and the support that
I've had.
From there. What was your thoughts from there?
Man, I mean, I'm so privileged. I talk about this all the time, and it is really a cultural thing because, especially at the time, black boys that looked like me really weren't on television. It was very, very rare to have, a kid who was able to say lines. At 3.5, I was doing full-on episodes, with Bill and Felicia Rashad and everything, and it's just unheard of, and that's why shows like that became so popular, because it showed people like me in that light. And so I think that it was just really cool to be a part of something that was on a major network that people could look at and say, wow, I see my family, wow, I see this, it's really dope. And then you said, to sort of be a part of stuff later on in life that as a kid, I was like, whoa, and it's weird because those things flipped. So as a kid, I'm working on all the adult networks that as an adult, I'm like, man, that was cool. But then as a kid, as an adult, I worked on all the kid networks that I was like, man, if I was a kid, I'd be like, that was cool. So I sort of flipped, because when I was younger, I did NBC, CBS. I was on almost every major network. Before I turned the age of 6, I had done Family Matters, Living Single, Fresh Prince, and The Cosby Show.
Family Matters,
So literally to have almost every major black sitcom under my belt before I turned 6 years old.
Right.
That's pretty insane. So now looking back, I'm like, man, that's cool. And then now, as I work on stuff like Nickelodeon, and as I work on stuff like Fallout 4, I'm like, man, as a kid, I would have been through the roof. So every network and every sort of major distributor that I've worked on has been sort of a reality check. It's one of those things that you sort of take to heart, and it's like, man, I'm working for a company that has had such an influence in the game, and I try to rise to the occasion. And I think it's sort of a testament to my work that Nickelodeon kept asking me back. You know what I mean? I've done multiple things for them, and to have a company honor me, I was honored by Nickelodeon last year for Black History Month. And
even though it's LGBT month, same month as February, continue on.
To say to say that I was included with Cree and with Phil Lamar and Kevin Michael Richardson.
Phil Lamar, another great voice actor to portray Carver for the Weekenders. Who else? The title character in Samurai Jack. So on. Continue on.
It's like, wow, my name is with those guys, it's really cool to have. And again, those networks are, again, special place. Cartoon Network, even, I did Whatever Happened to Robot Jones for Cartoon Network, and they're just amazing staple in.
Hold on, we're an hour mark. Did we just? No, it did not. Okay, let's continue on.
anime and late animation, as a lot of people say. That stuff is just really cool. A lot of people look at Cartoon Network and for what they've done to the game, and it's like, I'm a part of that, So yeah, networks and all of that aside, I always take every day as it's new. Every new job is exactly that, a new opportunity to just do things. Yep.
You mentioned Kevin Michael Richardson. I didn't mention this yet, but we hope to get him.
Oh, Kevin Michael Richardson, yeah. And I was trying to say that too, because he's a great voice actor who played Atari and John Joe, Great voice actor. Continue on.
Might not be able to find that too.
Big teddy bear man. That's what I call him, teddy bear.
He doesn't have social media or anything. No, but me and Chris
so
know
lucky,
that.
and that's why he's called teddy bear, because he has this booming voice, right? Everything he does, it's just, but he is the most soft-spoken guy. Like, he's huge. He's a huge guy. Like, he's so tall, and he's just such an imposing guy. And then he talks, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Oh my god!" And he's so nice, and but he's such a cool guy. He's another person that I've learned so much from, even indirectly. Just
maybe you can help us get him on here if you're up for it.
Yeah, that would be
because he doesn't have social media or anything. I don't think
he doesn't. He stays super low key.
Yeah.
He's
what
one of
me
those
and Chris
guys.
know him the most from is from LeRoi Stitcher's Captain Gantu.
Yes.
He voiced Captain Gantu, which Chris and I are big with.
From Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the voice actor.
I mean, if you see, I'm a huge.
Wow, God bless Debbie Chase's soul, because she voiced Lilo and Lilo and Stitch from the movie to the series, from LeRoi and Stitch, and sadly she's not doing voice actress work since 2015, and fortunately she passed away in 2026 of June 16th due to HIV/AIDS. She was 35 years old. And apparently I have to do a tribute to her right after I do a follow-up episode Showdown event. This is what Gary's holding right now. That was amazing. Continue on.
I think I might have that Stitch plush. I think I might have that exact one, actually.
Yeah. There you go. So, no,
they're making a live action, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I do think that
we need him to return as Gantu.
That would be...
Well, apparently, in the live action Lilo and Stitch, search up right now. Let me see. Lilo and Stitch. Not the 2002 movie. We're talking about the 2025 movie. He was voiced by somebody else. His name is... Gone to... Let me see. Man. Where's Gone to? And yeah, Jason Scott Lee, and of course, but I was a manager, and she did return as David from the original film in the sequel, but Tia Corey, she did play Nia in Nani in the Lilo and Stitch animated series, Mia, but she returns the voice of Mrs. Kika in the live action movie. I couldn't find who is Gone to in that thing, so there is no Gone to in this thing. So let's see here. Where's Gone to? And no hamster reveals at the time, so there's no live action Lilo and Stitch at that time range. So no, I haven't seen it everywhere. I mean, and he was absent for the 2025 live action film. Although original versions from the film script has an him included, film directors Dean Fletcher Camp saw him to be too attached from the main characters to work with the plot. He was instead substituted for the more villainous Jumba. Really? Seriously? Oh well, we tried. Anyway, let's continue on.
Yeah. I can see him running around doing it.
I don't think he would. I don't think he's so. I don't think that would be something he would want to do, but that would be awesome if he did.
Sure. Is there any advice you want to give, or you can give to anybody who wants to get into this stuff?
Yeah, like into voice acting or acting in general.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to give two separate answers, honestly, because, and I give you a reason why. Voiceover in the most recent years, I'd say the last 5 years, has changed exponentially. Social media has flipped so many things on its head, just as far as how you approach things, how things end up, the end results, who can participate, who's creating. Things have just opened, things have changed. For the regular acting or just general acting, I think the biggest piece of advice is that it is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And to have the mindset that this is a job. It is a passion. It is something that you should feel happy doing, but at the same time, do not treat it as if it's a get-rich-quick passion or I'm going to do this and instantly hit here. Most of the faces that you've seen that are making the money that you say is, oh my gosh, that's money that I could never dream of, have had 20-plus years of times where they had no idea where their next meal was coming from. And almost every single one that I've come into, and I've been in the game 30-plus years now.
Wow.
So for me to never run into an actor that never had a horror story, like every single person that I've talked to has had that struggle. So really new actors have to get in their mind that your talent is going to speak for you. If you make it quick and you hit it, that means that there's something in you that allowed that. And great, take advantage of that. And it's not to say that if you're struggling, you're not talented, but what it means is that you can get lucky. But everybody, talented or not, is going to have to work at some point. So that's really my biggest advice for general acting. But voiceover is specific. For voiceover now, especially because of social media, use it to your advantage. Don't feel like you have to hold a certain persona on social media. Don't feel like you are restricted and have to be professional. If you don't...
Be right back. Back, folks. Sorry about that. I just have to read some news reports on Huey Lewis, and then all of a sudden, he's deaf. And he's not gonna. Music's not part of his life anymore, for some reason. Couldn't find my headphones because it might be storming outside for some reason. So that's what I'm trying to wear, and Mom told me it's not ready in here, so. According to the weather right now in my area, it says here that it might be rainy for the next hour. It didn't want to storm until 7 p.m. So it might be a problem. So yeah. So last until anyway. It may be a heat advertising, so there you go. And let's continue left off, shall we? So we got for us. Here we go. Oh, did I play the record? Yeah, we did. Okay, let's continue on.
Put yourself out there as a person. The project's restricted and have to be professional. If you don't put yourself out there as a person, the projects that are looking for that type of person are never going to find you. I tell people all the time, there's so many independent video games. There's so many independent comics that are looking to do audiobooks. There's so many different ways for you to become a part of voiceover now that you really just have to put yourself out there and let it find you. And stop this, professional VO thing. Like, TikTok and all that stuff will give you an image of what this is, and you have to go deeper than that. You have to really talk to people who are doing this every single day, and that's one of the biggest things that I took in my coaching. I was really against acting classes for years. I've never taken a formal acting class in my life. I have always been a person who says coaching is the way to go. Yes,
it's like coaching. I couldn't bring a whistle with me, unfortunately, so I can be the coach, and that's why it's more easier. So that's why that is the coach. Yeah, sir! Something like that. But anyway, continue on.
Know that it's important to be educated in your craft. I'm not saying that. Yes, go to school for acting.
Yeah, go to school.
But to me, an acting class tends to group a lot of people together, and it teaches them a curriculum, and then it sort of pushes them out and says, okay, have at it. And then when you go in an audition, now you have 25 plus people that you were in that class with that are doing the same exact techniques as you. How are you going to stand out?
Right.
So
You're telling me. Got notifications. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue on.
for me, individual coaching is the way to go. If you get a coach, that person is going to coach you attuned to your ability, attuned to where you're at, in your journey. And I always tell people that's the way to go. So now, me sort of giving back to the community, I've started coaching. I teach with Giovanni Samuel's acting workshops, which is GS Acting Workshops across all social media. And I coach. Yes, I coach voiceover. And for me, that's really what it's about, is put yourself out there and get a coach and really just take advantage of every single medium. A lot of people think voiceover and they think animation and maybe video games.
Yeah.
But voiceover is in almost everything in the world. Like, you think about, you sign on to a YouTube video. Most of the time your ad features a voiceover artist. Think about how many ads you see per day. Most of the time, think about when you walk into an airport or a major public place that has a voiceover.
For announcers.
A school,
right?
Those are voice.
This is Jeopardy! Anyway, the announcer from Johnny Gilbert, if you're wondering. Continue on.
Voiceover recorded. Disneyland. Those are voiceover. I did the voice for the High School Musical parade that happened.
Though I'm not a very huge fan of High School Musical that much anymore, to be honest. But anyway, let's continue on.
In Disneyland here for years.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
And you never think of those things.
Definitely worked with two of our previous guests, Calvin Lester and Wendy Colia.
Sweet. Yeah. I that's one of the things that I always encourage people. It's in everything we do. So there's so many things that you can be a part of with voiceover. Find your niche and just really just attack it. And there's nothing that you can sort of pigeonhole yourself off to if you just put yourself out there. It's gonna come.
Would you like to say anything to the people the fans?
Man, thank
our parents and Clipper and
anything really.
Much shows.
Man,
more shows than that, just those three.
Exactly, and honestly, and you said it. It's really thank you, because I've been able to still be acting, and you look at people who have careers, especially people who started with me. A lot of people who started with me aren't still acting, and again, that's no dig to them. That is simply me stating that I'm lucky. I'm so thankful for the fact that I've been able to work every year of my life for the past 30 plus years and not have to, really sort of redirect myself and be able to still attack my passion. You guys watching me in those shows is what did that. And being able to say, when I got posted for Black History Month, I had it was like 50,000 retweets and likes and then when I posted my 30-year anniversary. I posted my 30-year anniversary not too long. It was, I think, a couple of months ago, and that got,
which is now the 45th as I'm taping this right now. Continue on.
About the same amount, and to have so many people say, wow, we watched you. Wow, thank you so much. And my friends, I have friends that I've made that are like, when I was younger, before I knew you, I watched you. And to have people say, before I knew you, I knew you. A lot of people say that to me, and it means so much. And keep doing it, because I want to keep going. Just like those shows that keep going for kids, I want to keep educating,
just like we're doing,
being a source of you guys' entertainment, and reckoning. Most of the latest projects that I've done, I've done a lot of projects recently for the LGBT community, and that featured that. And I get people that come to me all the time and say, I've gotten people that say I've saved their life. You know, people say I didn't think that I was going to make it, and I watched roles that, you know, showed me that I mattered, and thank you, you know. And that, just to be an actor, to have that's exactly why I do it. I could literally make not another penny, and I'm going to want to act every day just because of that. So
please do it, boss. You're welcome.
Thank you guys. I mean, and it's you. And honestly, and I do want to say this. I appreciate fans that have given back. You guys are fans that are giving back and sharing your experiences and sharing your stories and sharing how you feel about these properties. You guys are so important. You guys are like, you don't know how important you are, because you bridge the gap. You do what studios can't. You guys tell people who aren't, you know, there are people who may not have television, you know what I mean? And can't afford that, but they can afford, they have an iPod and they have podcasts on their iPod.
Exactly,
and, you know, and that stuff really, really matters. And I want you guys to honestly just keep going and growing and thinking of ways to
definitely,
reach people. Because like I said, it matters. And when you have good content, and especially where you guys have a show like you, where you simply just shine light on old things, you know, you guys aren't really having, you know, opinionated arguments about stuff. You guys are just really having fun, looking back on the past and calling things to light, and just having fun watching this stuff. And that's so important and so good, especially in the time that we're in with the pandemic. How everybody just
was now over with, thank God.
Really had to take a step back and look, and you guys did that, and you guys put your spin on it, and congrats, and keep going, man, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
And thanks for your words.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, so how can people find you on social media?
Well, I am on almost everything at Gary L. Gray. So that's GARY LGRAY. So it's the same letters, just flipped around, and it's, you know,
everything on your social media will be in the
everything is in the
description.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's Instagram and Twitter, which I am the most active on. Twitter, especially.
Yeah, which is now known as X, because, like I said, LJPCBM 1876. Because the people got banned from X, including me, of course. That's just impossible. People are gonna get rid of X for some reason. I now use Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and so on. So hit me over there, cause you want.
You know, you can most of the time hit me. I run my own Twitter. You know, much to the dismay of my agents and but you know, I feel like with things that I feel passionate about, you know, and things that I use as a means of release, that's the things that I want to feel connected with my fans on. So when it comes to gaming, when it comes to Twitter, I love to, you know, I want you guys to talk to me. I never turn people away when it comes to gaming. People always like, what's your gamer tag? I'm like, yeah, we can play. I don't care. So I'm the same way with Twitter. You can hit me up, you can message me. I mean, that's how you guys contact me.
Right, yeah.
So as you can see, I respond. You know, so for me, it's really just about connecting with people. So, you know,
exactly.
Hit me up on there. We'll chop it up.
Would you come back?
Of course.
You know, Jason together.
That would be awesome.
Or someone else from even Stevens, like Christy or something.
Yeah, we need Christy.
Christy calls Romano. Yes, you know.
And someone from Clifford too.
That would be really dope. That would be really dope. Yeah.
Or and Kim Possible, and that was not related to him, but Will Frey from the voice of Unstoppable, and he's also in Boy Meets World. But is he on here? Let me see. Let me search him up real quick. Will search. Nope, it's I gotta find it. This name. The voice of Unstoppable from Kim Possible. Will Fredo. I think it's Fredo. Okay. I think it's not up there. Oh well. Continue on.
I know Kel Mitchell.
We need Kel on here.
He's really cool.
King Cal, hello.
Well, he's a really good guy. He doesn't live in LA anymore with me, but I'm pretty sure he'd be wanting to join up. So yeah, I definitely would, and seeing you guys' praises will definitely blast it out there and make sure that everybody knows.
Oh, I had to search him up. Speaking of which, if he's on here before, Cal Mitchell. Not here either. What's wrong with that? Continue on, anyway.
Get Kel Mitchell. You can help us get guests if you want. We have somebody from previous episodes helping us.
So yeah, of course, yeah, I definitely would. And like I said, when you guys have like any kind of thing, that specific topic that you guys want to talk about that you feel like I'd be particularly good to talk with on, just let me know. Like I said, I'm a gamer, so for me, I'm I'm ready to be down to always talk about things gaming, and I'm a big tech guy, so I love stuff like that.
I started out as a technician many years ago, like in '98 of my first birthday. So, and that's where I started with the AOL dial-ups and the dawn of the internet. And that's where it all started for me. And then PC gaming, like Clipper Throwing Activities for one, as I mentioned. Two, well, not an original file, by the way. Two was basically, I have to say this, but Humongous Entertainment Games, a Cliff Boo Schools game. Of course, Toy Story Animated Storybook, and of course, Babe Game. I remember this Babe Game movie Storybook, which is a great PC game as a kid. Continue on.
I don't know if you guys have shows talking about that, but yeah.
No, we do now.
And I'm
That's the next podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, there you go. I'm a big consumer, though, so I watch just as much as I participate in, if not more.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Speaking of shows, I will react to Joe Rogan podcast very soon. If you want this Taylor, Joe Rogan podcast for you. Anyway, continue on.
You guys are talking about certain things. I'm a huge consumer. I'm a Netflix binger. I do that too. So
wow.
I literally, it doesn't matter.
Netflix is amazing. Tennessee Plus is so much too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got all of them pretty much. The only one I don't really do is Hulu, but I think everything else
Oh yeah, that was a Disney Plus exclusive, which I have. I don't use Hulu because Disney Plus it's gonna be merging with Hulu, and then Hulu's gonna be shutting down pretty soon. Yeah, that was good because Gary needs to say like, well, that was good for Gary because. And it's bad for my dad because it's not going to he's going to lose Hulu plus live TV because that'll be sad as him, Let's continue on.
Yeah, I'm a consumer, man. I love to indulge in my art, I think that's important.
I know awesome.
Yeah. No, man, you guys are great. Make sure you guys let me know, when everything drops for sure.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's been an honor.
No, man, like I said, you guys
are awesome. What Chris said.
Yeah, once he sent me the message saying like you want to do the podcast, oh my gosh.
And if we get Jeffrey Garcia on, I think somebody needs to surface on in front of us.
Oh my gosh.
And also one more thing actually. So we talk about, I know I said this so much about this, but so we talk about about the reboot Clipper. Somehow, just in case, in the future, which I'm most likely not going to happen for me personally, but just in case if this is going to happen, if any OG Clipper kids are going to be a part of. We're going to be in the cameo or for the future films for Clifford. Would you be down to be adult version of our Charlie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, live action. If it's, or are you saying live action or animation?
In general,
either.
In general.
Live action, probably not, but VO, yes. And I tell you the reason why. That's strictly off of representation. Because if I'm playing a Jamaican boy, or even older, as at that point.
Say Miracles will be 4 years. I'm taping this right now. Mm-hmm.
I think that there are actors that can better represent that visually than I can. And so I think that would be important to find someone that's, really puts that on screen for people who are in that community. Voiceover, is different. And so I think that's one of those things that if I can, really immerse myself and, find the right script. And yeah, I think that is definitely open for discussion. I definitely would.
Yeah.
And same with even Stevens. Like, would you be down for that if that were to like get a reboot?
Wow. And even Stevens reboot would be interesting.
I listened to my question. I said that question now, Chris.
Yeah, even Stevens reboot would be interesting. I don't know. Even Stevens, I think there are certain things that I would not want. And like I said, it's easier to say I want to bring back Clifford in some kind of way because it has that tone. It's that educational tone for children, right?
Yeah, I saw that very Parents of New Wish is rebooted as a New Wish. There's a very Parents been rebooted twice, but it was now canceled. So there you go. One was terrible. The other one's like, okay, this is okay. Continue on anyway.
Or even
it's still around.
It might not be for children. Right, it might not be for children, but it's at least for a younger audience. And so in this mode with Even Stevens, if Even Stevens was rebooted for all the same characters to be older, I would think that the audience would be a little older. So I think that it would probably read more like a Degrassi type. And in that case, then I probably wouldn't, because I think that Even Stevens is supposed to exist in that bubble. It's supposed to exist in that sort of early preteen angst, not knowing what we're doing, bubble. And I think that once you go beyond that, it loses what its heart is. I think Even Stevens was really about those early teenage years in a family, in a crazy situation. And you can't really alter that. It becomes something different at that point.
Right.
Yeah, because even though Chrissy Collins and Romano didn't get along with Shia LaBeouf very well, as I'm seeing this very well, but unfortunately, Chrissy Collins and Romano, sadly, in 2026, which is this year, she was diagnosed with something bad. Accordingly, Christy Carlson, she was diagnosed, I think this is her, and at 42, she was diagnosed with, she was tested positive during a cancer screening. This is not an official cancer diagnosis or future testing, and it is required to identify diagnosis Romano at that time. So, what this means is, I don't know what happened, and last year, Romano shot a right eye in Austin, Texas during a clay pigeon shooting. Wow. Outing with Rooney, now her husband, for his 42nd birthday, which was accidentally caused by another party. Rooney assisted with the situation, had Romeo taken to the hospital. Someone sharpened their house removed. Wow. But one shotgun pistol fragile was lodged behind her eye, but it was left alone due to being too risky to remove. In June 2025, which is over a year ago, Romano spoke publicly about the shooting. She revealed that about the fragile lodged behind her eye remained, along with another pellet fragile of her forehead. Now, let me just say this right now, but Even Stevens won't be reviving very soon. But eventually, in television scene here and Even Stevens, from 2000 to 2003, yeah, there's no revival, unfortunately. The first season of Even Stevens was made available on DVD in Region 4 in Australia and New Zealand. Today, no future seasons have been released on Region 4, but Region 1, however, has released on Season 8 and seasons on series. However, its television film has not. But, however, the television film and Even Stevens movie is made available on DVD, the full screen only, and VHS on my 10th birthday of 2005. In March 2020, the complete series was made available for the purchase on iTunes. The series final film is available on iTunes. It's not cropped widescreen. So, what this means is, Even Stevens is not available for a revival. So yeah. I'm kind of surprised that even Stevens is not revived very soon. Anyway, let's conclude off.
And so I think that that's one of those things that I would say, yeah, I think that one should be left alone. I think that there are things that are stronger that are left by themselves than to reboot and to show to another generation and or audience. I think there are some things that stand that sort of, that test of time where you could be like, no, this can sort of, in any facet. Put it this way. Why do you think that they haven't rebooted the X-Men cartoon?
Yeah. It's just scary, I know.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot to be said that, Spider-Man has been, sort of rehashed plenty of times.
They got
You've got even a new DuckTales. You've got DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Everything under the sun.
DuckTales Revival, yeah, that one's canceled. What did you say, closed caption? Hang on.
You've got DuckTales.
Right.
Yeah, that DuckTales Revival got canceled in 2020. I can't pronounce the years wrong, but anyway. When did they got canceled? DuckTales. The 2017 TV series is eventually have been aired for 3 seasons. And unfortunately got canceled in 2019. Well, actually 2021 because of the revival had been aired for some time, for 3 seasons. David Tennant was Scrooge McDuck after Alan Young passed away because filling in for Alan Young because David Tennant did a great job after filling in for because of Alan Young's legacy. But anyway, that being said, let's continue on. Let's continue off. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, Dot Tits, who? If you watch the remix, reviewed by from the Howard the Duck review, Star Trek. Cool off.
Everything under the sun.
The theme song.
Yeah, but that X-Men cartoon, I tell people, a lot of people always put Spider-Man above that one, and I'm like, no. When you really look back and see what that X-Men cartoon did, it's just no duplicating it, and there's a reason why that has to stay that way. Gargoyles, same thing. There's a reason why.
Gargoyles, great show.
It has to stay that way. It was made at a time where it was perfect, and there's no way that you could duplicate that right now. And it's stronger.
No, it can't be.
Staying that way.
Teacher's Pet is another one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wait, what is that?
Teacher's Pet is another one.
Yeah, great show. Great show. See a movie in theaters, and it was a great movie. I grew up with Teacher's Pet. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Well,
again,
thank you for coming on.
Yeah, again, thank you. It's been a blast.
You guys are awesome.
You said something about talking to her, so maybe help us get her on here.
Oh, you said Christy? Oh, yeah. I just
awesome,
recently had a conversation with her.
And she
I definitely will put it in her ear when we talk about being on her show. I'll definitely let her know for sure. Like I said, the best thing is just...
unfortunately, I talked about Chrissy before, but anyway.
Once it happens and once it drops, it's always... My peers, people that I work with, I always, anytime that... Because a lot of voiceover people don't do podcasts anymore.
Which I explained during my... the Joe Rogan podcast, which I did when he talked about my 50th anniversary documentary. Yeah, I'll do a reaction of this soon, but, especially hot ones know to react, but that's just me. Continue on. Anyway.
Right, yeah.
A lot of the actors
doing podcasts now. He has a lot of
I'm glad that there's gonna be more podcasts more down the line, right?
A lot of actors though that I work with will, a lot of times when I finish something, I'll just say, "Oh, I just did such and such," and they're really cool if if you're looking for a podcast to do or something. So this is definitely a time where I will, be able to suggest stuff to people. So like I said, just keep in contact, and whatever I can, we'll say. One of these days we got to figure out how to mesh our two podcasts. I have a podcast called Live from the Couch that we just talk.
Wow, that was nice. Let me check if Live from the Couch still there. Let me see. Life in a Couch. No, not this one. Not SNL one. No, Gary, LeRoi, Gray. Gary, okay. I look everywhere. Jake, if you watch this, I have no idea. Okay, move on. Next.
There you go.
Shoot stuff on. So,
keep up your good work on there.
Yeah.
Voices like Cooper, I believe, has one called Game On or something like that.
So if we can mesh those two, that would be cool. And
I still originally going to do a podcast on my Friday show where I talk about news. I wasn't doing interviews at one stage. I do gameplay segments. I do anything about that. Apparently, the show was canceled after 12 seasons. So there you go. I just want to get back in the swing of things about this during the Crazy Much web show and other things, but it just happens. Continue on.
About something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, from what Chris said to me and from three of us, thank you so much for being on our show and for the future they be on back, like we said about that. And and also you're a great guy that we have on our show, so thank you so much.
You are.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
You're
you guys are awesome.
Worth it, which is the message from
it. Yep. Keep on good work on what you're doing, and can't wait what next feeling for the future, or what like your podcast and everything. What's going on?
I can't wait to be back, and like I said, we can talk about whatever's new and whatever else you guys got.
That's awesome.
And from all of us, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support, and like I said, like every single episode, see you on the next episode, and hope you all enjoyed.
And for me, you are worth it.
And catch y'all for the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
So that was Jake's Having a Star Show. Let's say episode 12, Gary LeRoi Gray. Oh my God. I've been talking about this for about 3 days reacting to this, and I thought it was probably amazing. So far, this episode was a success. If that was episode, we had 1,837B. We did 1,837A last time, so I thought we best do 1,837B this time around, so I thought we can do it in 2 parts. So I hope you enjoyed this, but it's time for us to go. But stay tuned. Next going to be LJPCBM 1,878, which will be about 1,878. Anyway, which will be about Jake Simon's Style Show episode 13 on Stephen Anthony Lawrence, and of course, Melissa. Oh my God, what's the last name? Anyway, Stanger. Here we go. I'm gonna sit down. Anyway, till next time. So, Jeremy saying goodbye. Peace out, baby. We can watch LJPCBM reacts. 3 guys very soon. Till then, the Jefferson out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one Why was I the one to see things as I do under the moonlight and the sun? Perception is the question, and the giver holds the key.